Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game as a preview of West Ham United against Crystal Palace as we return to the London Stadium for the first time since our 5-0 thumping by Manchester City. And it's not all about West Ham this weekend. There's a little bit of James Tompkins and a little bit of Big Sam to get through as well. Charlie, Big Sam, is he licking his lips for this fixture? Bearing in mind what we got told earlier about Dimitri Payet and also bearing in mind our unsteady sort of form.
Oh, yeah, he would have been licking his lips for it anyway. But now, a club in crisis, he's coming back. I mean, the script is written for a big slam slogfest where he would just turn around and just smugly look at all the West Ham fans and be like, yep, this is what you're missing, lads, as if we care. He is so excited about the prospect of playing long balls up to Benteke, Connor Wickham. It doesn't matter who it is, just pigging them forward and just loving every minute of it, all the booze, all everything. I really hope that we stick it to him, to be honest.
Scott, do you fear Big Sam rocking up? Is he not like the worst manager we could be facing this weekend, or are you looking at the other side that actually he's the perfect manager for Bilic to be facing?
Don't like the man. It's really hard to get it back onto football. I know. The last thing I want after this is him getting a victory and cupping his ear so he can hear us all booing him. The thing is, he's going to rock up, and we know his game. We know he's just going to be putting them big eyeballs. He's got nothing else to offer. He never has had, whichever club he's been at. So he's quite predictable. So yeah, a good manager to be up against.
Are you disappointed by Crystal Palace so far this season, Scott?
Definitely. I thought that they put a decent side together. And I know you probably don't agree with me. I thought they should have kept with the manager. I thought he was going to do something for them. They're going to be really happy with Sam for maybe 6 months like we were. And yeah, they'll get fed up with him. They'll get fed up with his style. Everyone does.
Charlie, do you see Crystal Palace getting relegated? They're hovering just around the area right now, but they've brought in the sort of the avoid relegation expert.
In shows I've done elsewhere, I have said they're going to get relegated. But I think, to be honest with you, my heart's probably ruling my head on that one. They've got a good enough side to survive. They've got the right players for Allardyce to make that team work to his style instantly. I think they should be able to survive. I think they maybe need 1 or 2 players in January, but they should survive decently given the opposition that's around them as well.
I can't see them getting relegated either. I think they've got too many good players in there. But then saying that, some of the good players, if you were to say name a good player, say Townsend, but he went down with Newcastle. So the good players are still, Benteke and Aston Villa, etc. I know he wasn't there when they went down, but these players are from relegation teams in a way. I suppose you could say Tompkins and West Ham, even if you really wanted to be a bit naughty. But let's talk about West Ham. And before we do that, the man in the middle is Neil Swarbrick. He's the man in the middle. Sorry, we've had him once this season when we drew 1-1 at Crystal Palace. We drew 1-1 with Middlesbrough at home when Dimitri Payet scored that solo effort. And we've only ever won once with him in charge in 7 Premier League games. Crystal Palace had him twice this season, won twice. But time to talk about West Ham. Now, we're missing one player on Saturday. Cheikh Kouyaté is at the African Nations Cup. Haha, you didn't think I was going to say him, did you, Charlie? But I'm going to try this a little bit differently. I'm going to tell you what I think the 11 is going to be. I think it's quite predictable now that a certain player has decided he's not going to play, who we'll talk about in a second. I think the 11 will be Randolph and goal, Nordveit, Reed, Ogbonna, Creswell at the back, Obiang and Noble centre midfield, Lanzini, Antonio, Faguli attacking midfield, and Andy Carroll up front. Charlie, is it that predictable?
Possibly, I think that the one man, I think whoever comes in for Payet is going to get a big confidence boost because puts his shoulder on him and goes, look, I put more faith in you now than I would put in Payet. So go out there and prove me right. Prove everyone that you are good enough to take that position and that we don't need him to go. And that's going to be a huge confidence boost for whoever comes in. I hope it isn't. I hope it isn't. I want to see Antonio play up front. I don't want to see him on the wings, but I would prefer to see one of the youth players there, to be honest, like a Domingos Inner or a Marcus Brown or someone like that, just to play in the Payet role and give a little bit of youthful exuberance and go, look, go, have a pop, let's go. But in all honesty, I think you've just hit the nail on the head of exactly what the formation and style is going to be, to be honest.
I'll be surprised if it's not that, actually. But you never know. Bilic might have something up his sleeve. Scott, right back. That's Sam Byram's back. He was back for the under-23s. I want to see a curveball there, which I'll tell you about in a second. Who would you like to see right back? We've also got Nordveit, who's been playing there. Scott, right back?
You know me. No nod shite for me. Had enough of him. For me, Byron. Like the guy. Seen him play at Leeds. You know, I live 20 odd minutes away from Leeds. Like the guy. I think if he gets a bit of a run and he's given a chance, he likes right midfield better, but he can play right back. Give him a run in the side. But, I mean, we've had everybody there. Do you know what I mean? Let somebody settle in there, and you know he can do a job for us. Don't want Nordshite in there. Too many problems. Reed ends up coming across all the time to mop up after him. Just let Reed do his job. You know, he doesn't need to do the job or two. Is he getting 2 wages?
Yeah, I got nothing against Nordveit, but actually I think he's done okay there. He's unfairly targeted. I'd like to see him in his natural position eventually. So I would like to see Byram there, simply so that Sam Allardyce, if he goes to target the right back, he's got to think, oh wait, there is actually a right back. It's not going to be so easy as we thought. But the curveball I want to see is Reece Oxford. I just want to see someone that can actually play football and play out from the back. Nordveit can do that to an extent, but I'd like to see Reece Oxford there. And it's not a long-term thing. It's just a simple until we get another right back thing or until Sam Byram's slightly fitter. I just would like to see Oxford because I'm kind of like Charlie. I'd like to see a bit of youth in the team now. Between now and the end of the season, we've got nothing to play for. I don't think we're going to go down. I think best case scenario, we'll finish top half. So let's use these 10, 15 games where we can. I wouldn't play them against Spurs and Liverpool, for example, but Crystal Palace and Watford and Leicester and Everton and that. I would get one or two youngsters into the starting 11 and on the bench so they're picking up valuable minutes and make this season successful from a different perspective. Maybe not, we won't win anything, league position might not be great, but these youth can get lots of minutes. That will make the season slightly successful. Charlie, you name dropped a couple of youngsters there, but if you could start one youngster, who would it be?
Probably Domingos Quina. I think you talk about kind of direct replacements almost for Payet. I think he has the same sort of traits as him. Great on the ball, smart, quick movement with his feet, that sort of thing. I would ideally, if I'm looking at all the youngsters, I'm thinking, who do I want to get a Premier League debut? Who do I want to see get a few minutes here and there? It would be him. So if I was to start one, it would be him. But Marcus Brown is a very close second.
Scott, what youngster would you like to see get the most minutes between now and the end of the season, or if you had to start one on Saturday?
I was going to say Brown, but now you've said Oxford. You know, you go back to that game against Arsenal, and I know he just played absolutely perfect, and he's got to have grown by then. You know, he's shown faith in us, and he's put his career there, and he's stayed with us. Give him a chance.
Well, we'll talk about someone who hasn't put his faith in us at the end of the show, so stick around for that. Marcus Brown's my one. I'm not going to go into it because I keep repeating it, but I would really like to see Brown. I think he's got something. Charlie, are you confident for this one?
Do you know what? It's weird. I wasn't before this morning. I was speaking to a Crystal Palace fan yesterday, and I was actually predicting that they would go ahead and win 1-0. It would be smash and grab paradise. But actually, since what has transpired today has transpired, a little bit confident, and I don't know why. I think I really think that Bilic is going to get them 100% fired up for this game. I think he was anyway for obvious reasons, but I think that now he has just this hero to his stamp out there and say not only to Payet, not only to the fans, but to literally everyone in the footballing world and go, we don't need Payet. This is us. This is we are solid. We are unified to go forward. And actually, I'm kind of a little bit confident now, more than I was for sure.
Scott, big game. Are you confident?
It's a massive game, a massive game. Again, like Charlie, you'd have asked me yesterday. No, I'd have gone 0-0. I thought it would have been a boring game. I think the Payet situation. I think the team talk's done, absolutely done. It's made it for Bilic. He's gonna really fire up. I'll be really surprised if they don't hit the ground running. I'll go 3-1.
Well, I wasn't one a prediction yet, but never mind. To be fair, for anyone watching, we actually recorded the preview the other night, and it was meant to go on our channel today at dinner time. But with this Payet thing, I decided that we couldn't put it up because it was out of date. We spoke about Payet being attacking in it. Scott did actually predict 0-0 on that one. I will admit it. But then Scott will back me up here when I said that we needed Mark Noble back in the team. I think that's the big one for me. It's the guy. If anyone's going to I actually think if anyone's disappointed out that West Ham lot today, as well as Bilic looking heartbroken in his best comment, I think Mark Noble will feel really let down because they've almost had a little bit of a bromance going on, etc. But it's quite clear from the way they played football, the way they celebrate goals, even when they're warming up before a match, it's quite clear that Mark almost took Dimitri under his wing a little bit and said, I'm going to help you settle in here at West Ham. You're a special player. I know you're a special player, but this is a special club, and I'm going to show you it's a special club. And I feel like Mark Noble's maybe gone above and beyond a little bit with Payet compared to what he would do with other players. And I think he might actually be one of those feeling a little bit disappointed by Dimitri's actions, a little bit let down. Like it's a slap in the face to him as not just a footballer and a captain, but almost like as an ambassador of West Ham United, because that's what Mark Noble is. He is what we stand for in terms of the work and the graft, etc. And I just feel like he's let Mark down a little bit. And I think we're going to see him put a shift in on Saturday that's worthy of a West Ham legend. Because there were some people who said, is Payet a legend? Is he not? If you watch his channel, I've always said he's not. A cult hero, yes. Legend, not. And there's some people that say Mark Noble isn't one, but to me, he is a legend. I think we're going to see why on Saturday. I think we'll see him step up to the plate. And that's why I'm confident. I'm confident for Saturday because we've got Mark Noble. And like Scott said, the team talk's written. Bilic won't have to say anything in that changing room. If those players care about West Ham, they won't need words or motivation. And I think we're going to find out a lot on Saturday, actually, who's going to stand up and be counted. And if anyone else has got the Payet sort of, I'll just hide away here and hope to get through the next 90 minutes without doing much. I think we're going to find out. But Charlie, Scott says 3-1. I'm saying 2-0 West Ham. What are you saying, Charlie?
I was for 2-1. Let's say 2. I think 2-1. I think Palace will get a goal. I almost think they might score first. But I'm hoping that this game has the drive forward. And you know what? If they score first, it might even give us even more drive and even more passion. Like I say, I think Noble, you know what, he's going to be running around like a headless chicken, but his heart's going to be in the right place. And I think this is going to be one of those games where that is exactly what you need. Just him to just be like trying everything he possibly can to break down this Big Sam team, and hopefully it works. I'm going to say 2-1.
Well, let's talk about him now. Let's talk about him. Okay, that's a Palace preview over. This isn't going to turn into a half an hour Dimitri Payet debate. We're just going to touch upon it. We'll have to touch upon it, I suppose. Everyone knows what happened. I'm not going to go into it. But Scott, what's your opinion on all this then that's come out today?
I think it's no surprise that he just by watching his demeanour and the way he's been playing, that he wanted away. I'll take it for twofold. I think we feel let down as a whole as to what was promised and what's been delivered by the club. I think he was sold a dream. And I don't think that dream was delivered. It wasn't delivered to him. It wasn't delivered to us. It still hasn't been. But having said that, total disrespect for the club. How dare he think that he can come after what we've done for him and the way that the fans have treated him? How dare he think that he can turn around and say, I'm not playing for this club? I wouldn't even put him in the reserves. I wouldn't have his name anywhere. If the first offer that comes in, just get rid now. Just cash in on it. He has to go. It's totally and utterly disrespectful.
Charlie?
Yeah, much the same. I think that I've been very vocal in that I said I don't think the fans were sold a dream. I think the dream was forced upon us. But Payet was sold. Do you know what I mean? There is no way conversations didn't happen in the summer where Sullivan and co sat down with him and said, look, we understand that you could probably go to a big team now, but this is us. This is where we're going. This is what we have to offer you. And he probably went, right, okay, let's, probably reluctantly, but went, okay, let's do it. Because he hasn't played all season with the sort of fervent drive that he had last season. So it's clear his heart wasn't 100% there, but he's still... So I feel sorry for him in that sense. But when it comes down to it, like Scott said, it's hugely disrespectful to everyone at the club, to everyone above him, below him, all of the fans. Massively disrespectful. There have been times where that guy's just been sitting on the bench and all of the fans have been singing the Payet song. He is loved and adored. And even when people were criticizing him for maybe not putting in 100% effort, people still loved him and people still supported him. I don't particularly care about, like, I know Scott's just brought it up and I've seen many people say, you know, we made him, we did this, we did that. I don't care as much about that. I just think that that love, you don't have to be like the most jubilant, amazing player in the world, but you have to put in that effort. And for him to turn around and go, oh, I don't want to play now, that's fine. No one at this club cares. West Ham existed before him. West Ham will exist after him. Alex Ferguson always said that no one player is bigger than the club. And although people outside might not understand this, people who are Man United fans, Arsenal fans, all that sort of stuff, might look at it and go, Payet is bigger than your club. No, he's not, simply put. So what if he was the 17th best player in the world last year? Who cares? No, like, West Ham are bigger than he is. He can go. Personally, if I was them, I would just leave him to rot. I don't particularly care. We have the money. The one thing we have is money, because they never spend it, for Christ's sake. So I would be quite happy to just go, okay, cool. You can not play now. Just leave him in the reserves. Leave him doing whatever. Don't even put him in the reserves. I don't care. Just leave him to do whatever. And then when he eventually decides, oh, okay, I'll play for a bit, then he can come and play. But until then, I don't care. It's childish, but whatever. Like, if he wants to be childish, we can be just as childish back. But because he is our best player, he's our biggest asset at the club. When you're trying to sell the club to prospective, you know, signings, they go, oh, we've got Payet, you get to play with Payet. That's a huge thing. And now we don't have that, but it's the catalyst to bring this team together and just have us annihilate the rest of this season in just a way that we weren't doing before.
One thing we can't do is just leave him to rot. We don't have enough money. We've got a £30 million asset sitting there. We need to sell him. It's not just his value, it's his wage as well. He's on 6 to 8 grand a week or something, then his bonuses, which he won't be getting, but it's still 6 to 8 grand a week, which is a hell of a lot of money for West Ham. That's, you know, the top earner at the club alongside Carroll. So we need to get shot ASAP. But I think what I'm pissed off about the most is, if he wants to leave, fine. If he wants to go back to France, fine. If he wants to go back to France with his family, if he wants to go to Bear Football Club because he thinks he deserves it, fine, I can accept that. What I can't accept is refusing to play football, refusing to earn your wages. And, you know, if he has got a problem with the board, so be it. I'm not blaming the board for this one, actually. I'm quite negative. I'm quite negative about the board. I can be quite harsh on them. But maybe they did mislead him or whatever. But they probably also misled the rest of the team in there. They probably also misled Bilic a little bit. And they misled us fans. But Bilic is still going to be there Saturday. The rest of the players will still turn up on Saturday. We're still going to turn up on Saturday. And we ain't getting paid for it. He's bloody getting paid for it, you know. If he was to go to the board and do it properly, it would be a case of, I need to go in the summer. But until then, I'm going to knuckle down. I'm going to put the graft in. I'm going to drag you up that table as much as I can. I'm still going to entertain your fans. I'm still going to put bums on seats. I'm still going to have them singing my name. Then in May, come down the season, everyone will know I'm leaving. I'm going to walk out there. I'm going to soak up my applause. I'm going to applaud the fans, thank them for their support they've given me over the last 2 years. Then I'll move on. You can get your 40 million for me. But that's not how he's done it. He's decided to throw his toys out the pram. I want my move, you're not getting it. You were happy to sign that 5-year deal in the summer when you got offered 125 grand a week. You were happy to take the money then. You were happy to play for West Ham. But now the roses are sorted, clear a little bit, and you can actually smell the bullshit coming through from the flowers. That's when you're, okay. But the rest of us can smell it as well. But we're still turning up on Saturday to support West Ham against Crystal Palace. And it's a shame it's got to this point. But no one's surprised. That's what the worst thing is. The worst thing is not one person's got, oh, Payet wants to leave. Everyone knew it was coming. Everyone. But what we'll say is fair play to Bilic for going public on it. I fully commend Bilic on that. I think he's actually going to increase the support from the supporters. I think you have to consider how long has he been put up with this, because Payet hasn't been turned up to training at Christmas. Everyone got 2 days off. Everyone come back after 2 days, except Dimitri Payet, who decided to have 4 days off. Bilic just had to put up with this and try to juggle things, and he's probably going to get better pressure from the board to say, that's your best player, you need to keep him happy, etc. And he's probably trying to keep everything happy. I'm glad now he's laid his cards on the table and said, you know what, he's the one in the changing room that's pissing everyone off. It's been quite clear that there's something going on in that changing room. Now we know for sure what it is. I mean, Bilic is now playing like but Bilic is almost running out of excuses a little bit now. You can no longer say there's a problem in the dressing room because you just got rid of it. However, I think we can all look forward to a passionate West Ham on Saturday. We might not have the flair that Payet used to bring, but I think we're going to have the graft that Payet didn't used to bring. It's time for our little Argentinian to step up and show that he can maybe emulate Dimitri Payet. And if you go back a year ago, you'll find that I said that I prefer Lanzini Payet. I got slagged off for it. Charlie will back me up on this one. But any final words for Bugger Scott? Any last words before we leave?
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, just touching on what Charlie said, players come and go. Fans are there, and fans are what West Ham are about. And what I'd like to see when we play Crystal Palace is sing like the away fans do, and don't bugger off. With 20 minutes to go, stay in your seat to the end and make as much noise as you can. That's what West Ham needs, and that's what they've always needed, and they'll need it in the future.
Charlie, any final words?
Chant. As much as we hate Sam Allardyce, the one thing I want to see this weekend is us chanting for Bilic. Us being like, you have our support, you have done the right thing, we believe in you. Go out there and show us that you are the right man for the job. As much as I hate Sam Allardyce, as much as I hate to boo it, I love booing him, I love dissing him every single opportunity I get, don't get me wrong. But I want us to be out there and be like, look, we support Bilic, because what he did today was basically the best move he could have made given the horrendous situation he's just been dumped in. And just as you say, I think he absolutely nailed it. I think he got it 100% right. And I think he's shown everyone that, you said it before, whereas Allardyce got bad results, I don't think he cared. I think he just was there to get results. I think Bilic does care. I think Bilic knows what it means to us, and hopefully...
Well, on Saturday, it's up to the 11 men on the pitch to step up to the plate. Slaven Bilic needs to step up to the plate, and the fans need to as well. And let's face it, hopefully all three of us will. We're predicting all three of us will. Then after that, it's up to the board to step up and do their side of the deal for the next 2 weeks of this transfer window. Give it a Payet, says us three. Get in some decent players, said every West Ham fan. But thank you for watching. We'll be back Saturday night with our review, hopefully celebrating 3 points. Gonzo's vlog will be up on the Sunday, and Sunday night we will be back with a cup of tea speaking about all the West Ham transfers, including, of course, the Frenchman. Thank you for watching.